Welcome to the Dunn Construction Builder Series. We dive into how and what we're building across Texas and Oklahoma through the eyes of the people and the projects that paved the way. We highlight our team, our culture, our differentiators, and what has made us the builder of choice for the last 25 years. Well, hello, I'm Chuck Lipscomb. I'm the Senior Vice President and Regional Client Solutions Director with Dunn Construction, based here in wonderful Austin, Texas. And happy to be joined today by our President and CEO, Gordon Lansford. We are talking about our Texas story, our journey, 25 years here in the great state of Texas. And also, we're also approaching 100 years as a company with Dunn Construction. So first of all, Gordon, great to have you today and on this Texas series. And thanks for being a part of this program.
Thanks, Chuck. Good to be with you. Looking forward to talking about Texas today.
Well, before we dive in, before we go back in time, so could you give me just a little bit about your background and how you ended up at Dunn, and just give me a couple things today that you're excited about with Dunn Construction.
Sounds good, Chuck. Thank you. So I've been with the company about 26 years. This is my 9th year as CEO. Prior to that, I was the Chief Financial Officer for 15 years. And this is only the second place I've ever worked. I worked for KPMG, one of the big accounting firms, right out of school for a few years, and been here ever since. So really excited to be here and, excited about the growth we see as a company, with our strong culture and the great people that we have. We just continue to see tremendous opportunities all around the country in our 26 different geographic markets, as well as our national vertical markets. And the forefront of growth for us right now is Texas. So certainly excited to have 3 offices down there and many projects across the state.
Well, thanks for that. I know we are excited about the growth here in Texas, and it's pretty. They call it the Texas miracle. The economy here has been hot and continues to grow, and so Dunn has been excited not just to be a builder in this market, but also a community partner and just be involved in everything from the economic development to supporting our clients as they scale and try to manage the incredible growth in our economy. So, well, thanks again for your background, your perspective on where we are today. So what was it like sitting around the boardroom table and trying to, again, take an acquisition, a small interiors contractor, and create it into something that would, resonate with the Texas clients and the Texas market?
So, all these different locations that I mentioned, Minneapolis, Portland, and then Houston, were really just investments of the Dunn family in the construction industry. So there wasn't much synergy like we see today, obviously operating as one national company, sharing people and sharing resources and really working as one team. So it was, from a strategy standpoint, understanding where that company, which we owned, but really let be autonomous, where they could fit in and grow in that Houston marketplace. Obviously, we provided some input and ideas, but what we came to find in Houston is it's a very intimate market, right? Someone once described it as a very big small town, which I think is a compliment, a positive thing. There's a lot of homegrown, long-term, family-owned contractors down there. And while we've been there 25 years, some of those firms have been there 100 years, like we've been in Kansas City. So it was trying to find an unmet need in the marketplace and starting initially on that interior build out, because that's the resume we had and the experience of the people that we employed at that time. But after, a couple of years, we wanted to grow out of just doing interior work and being a ground up contractor like we were in other markets and certainly like we are today. So it was really an evolution, getting the right leadership team in place and making people in that market understand a little bit more about Dunn, even though we weren't even operating under that brand at the time, but starting to introduce our community impact and our philanthropy and wanting to be part of that community for the long term.
Yeah, great. As you said earlier, we've been in Texas across multiple, markets for many years. So talk a little bit about, that balance of, having the core leadership, but then bringing in folks from Kansas City and having the culture instilled in that company that we acquired, and then also looking to bring in new talent to help grow the team in those early years?
Yeah, so we we continued to grow not only in Houston, but to your point, we eventually moved into Dallas and opened an office there, and then finally in Austin. And our model has always been a mixture of, first and foremost, we like to have local people that grew up in Texas in this case and are connected and went to school down there. And there's a very powerful network in Texas. So we are very careful not to send a bunch of people down from Kansas City and try to do business in Texas like we had done for 80 years at the time in Kansas City. So it's really a good mixture of folks that we acquired, that came with the acquisition, that we hired locally. And in some cases, we did send down some of our leadership to help emulate that Dunn culture and how we build and how we invest in our communities. And over time, it's been a great blend of just that, local talent plus some of our Dunn folks from Kansas City or other markets. I mean, if you look at the leadership down there now, we're real good about moving people around across the organization based on where they want to be personally and professionally. And we have a good blend of talent.
And so you kind of touched on something that we still employ today, which is a strategy we call One Dunn, which is to be one company. Our clients, we have clients with multiple, work programs across. They may have projects in Dallas, Houston, San Antonio, all going on, and so we want to show as one company. So that took time to get there, but in those early years, there were some challenges of growing the business, and so maybe touch on some of those things from those early years that maybe had us step back and reflect on how we were growing and the timing of that growth. So maybe some of those lessons learned, if you could touch on those from those early years.
Sure. Well, as I mentioned previously, when we started acquiring companies, which we haven't done in over 20 years, but initially that was our key to geographic growth, they were really just standalone investments of the Dunn family. Fast forward to today, and we're, almost 30% employee owned and a much different company. But because they were really operated autonomously, there wasn't a lot of benefit of working together initially. But when we rolled into the year 2010, we eliminated all those different subsidiaries and silos and truly became One Dunn. In fact, changed all the remaining non-J. Dunn names of our subsidiaries to J. Dunn and really started working as one company. And I think that was extremely transformational for the organization because then we were all, rowing in the same direction. I like to say we have one share price as employee owners and we have one bonus pool. So we all work really hard together to identify the absolute best team to build a project from across the organization. And that took some time. To your comment, when we were separate subsidiaries, everybody was focused on their own bottom line and protecting their own resources, and they really had no reason to share those resources. But as we've evolved into operating as one firm, and I think we do it better than anybody in our industry, most of the projects that we work on today involve more than one geographic location or one region, as we refer to it. So it's been a very good change for us working together as one firm across the organization.
Pivoting a little bit back to the economy, you talked about the growth, which Texas is, in the headlines all the time with landing these large mega projects and creating jobs and the business-friendly climate we have here. So as we think, again, this is still reflecting a little bit back on the strategy which got us here today. Talk a little bit about the market sectors we've identified and how we've kind of balanced what we like to call community-based projects. That could be the fire stations, police stations, the schools, the hospitals that we build with large high-tech projects that have seemed to take the headlines over the last several years here in Texas.
Well, we always like to have a good balance between those community projects where our employees live and work and play, as I said, and they take a lot of pride in driving by when we're building a school or a church or an office building, a multifamily project that they can, point out to their friends and family and say, hey, we're building that. That's who I work for. That's J. Dunn. but we also recognize the tremendous growth that we're seeing in the the electric vehicle world, the technology, semiconductor. These are big mega projects, and we're well positioned to do those also. So both markets are extremely important to us, but we do try to maintain a balance. Not everybody can work on a mega project. They got to probably start on something a little bit smaller and see a project from beginning to end. So we like a mix of small to middle-sized projects to go along with those mega projects. And the way we approach those in that market is our folks in Texas are going to take the lead, but we have vertical national resources that come alongside them to help. So when you think about mission critical projects or semiconductor work, we have national resources that team up with our local resources to make sure we deliver that expertise and that exceptional client experience, regardless of the size or type of project that we're doing. But we do like a good mix of different types of work. And ultimately, that's, different people in our company want to work on different things. And we want to make sure that they can be satisfied and fulfilled and grow in their career depending on what they want to work on.
Very, very good. So talk a little bit, let's kind of talk about the environment in Texas with the workforce and over the years again, coming from Kansas City, very different labor force, union environment in some cases. So when we first came to the state, started doing work here, how did we again sort of, apply tried and true practices and processes with adapting to this environment in Texas, which can be very dynamic and very challenging, just again to find the labor to do the work that on these complex projects that we build.
Yeah, labor is different by market, and as you mentioned, we work in both union and non-union markets, and we don't dictate that. The market dictates that. So, when we went to Texas, and especially when we started really growing our self-perform work, which is the work that we do with our own trades, we didn't have a union to draw on. We had to go out and find hardworking women and men that wanted a career, not a job, but a career in construction, and go find them and hire them and train them and then keep them busy. The last thing we'd want to do on the skilled trade side is build up a outstanding workforce and then not have something for them to do. So it's been a great ride, and the ride is far from over in building our skilled trades in the state of Texas. We take pride in those men and women that work on the job and build the buildings. Frankly, that's who the rest of us work for, because that's the product we deliver, and they're on the front lines. So we take a lot of pride in supporting them, including them in the J. Dunn family, and creating those career opportunities for them. On the professional staff side, I know we're viewed as an employer of choice in our industry and certainly in Texas. So, we constantly have people knocking on our door, and when our recruiters call, our calls generally get answered because we have a reputation as putting our employees first and their families first, and just being a great place to work, and a great way to grow your career and enjoy the people you work with and get a lot out of it personally.
Pivoting once more to, I'm going to have you speak to any prospects out there who may be, whether they be looking at internships or a new graduate looking for a career opportunity, or a seasoned veteran looking to make a change. I mean, what do you think it is about J. Dunn in Texas specifically that would create value for them and their families if this was an opportunity for them?
Well, I love talking about recruiting and hiring people because that fuels our growth. And first of all, construction is a great industry. So for young people thinking about a career, that's why I came to construction from the financial world, because there's a very tangible, beautiful product at the end, but it takes a lot of very talented, hardworking people to make it happen. So there's a lot of reward and satisfaction of doing what we do. But, there's a lot of great builders out there. We compete with them and collaborate with them every day. But I think what sets J. Dunn apart is how we truly care about our employees and their families. A lot of companies put their customers first, and our customers are extremely important to us, but our families and our employees are more important. And oh, by the way, the customers benefit from that when we take such good care of our employees. But not only, as we talked about earlier, supporting them and allowing them to work on projects that inspire them to be involved and invest in our community, but with all the opportunities that we have, seeing that career path and that growth that we have here at J. Dunn. And, we don't take ourselves too seriously either. The work that we do is very hard, and it's a lot of deadlines and budget constraints. So we like to have fun, and we like to work together as a team and collaborate and help and support each other. So the work we do is hard, but we have a lot of fun doing it.
Well, with that note, maybe you have a message for your team in Texas. Anything you want to say to the team here to continue to inspire them as we look to the future?
Well, I'm very bullish on the market, and I'm very proud of the team that we have. So I just want to continue to support our team in Texas and give them the resources that they need to grow, but also have discipline to make sure that we don't take on more than we can execute successfully. And it's a good position to be in, but that's the position we're in right now. So I want to continue to support our team down there and encourage them, give them the innovation, technology, and tools to be a leader in the marketplace, and then get out of their way and let them do what they do.
Well, Gordon, I just want to take a minute to say thank you for taking your time today. This has been a great conversation with our Texas Builder series. Hopefully it's given our listeners some good insights into how J. Dunn made the move into Texas 25 years ago, and we will talk about the future in an upcoming episode. But I just want to appreciate and thank you for your time today. And if there's anything you want to say to close us out today.
Well, thanks for your time, Chuck. And I love talking about Texas. It's such a great market for us, and wonderful people down there. From our employee standpoint, their families, our clients, our architect partners, our trade partners, and the future is very bright. We're going to be a big part of it. So we're all in when it comes to the state of Texas at J. Dunn.